gosh, I am stuffed. We made way too much food this Thanksgiving.
This sentence is nothing abnormal to hear throughout America every November. However, it is no coincidence that the symbol of a true historic holiday is celebrated solely by eating. In this video, I will be talking about the global and regional disparities in food security and possible reasons behind the trend. Americans constitute 5% of the world's population, but consume 24% of the world's food. On average, one American consumes as much as 2 Japanese people, 13 Chinese people, or 370 Ethiopians. Furthering my point, the average American consumes 3,770 calories a day, while the average Central African consumes less than half of that, at 1,820 calories per day. These statistics are jaw-dropping. They lead to direct consequences like national obesity, but also indirect consequences such as lower wages for employees in the food industries. It's not as though we cherish all our food either. Beyond this, Americans throw out 200,000 tons of edible food daily. To put this into perspective, that's around the same weight as the Sears Tower. As Americans, we eat more globally than any other nation, yet discard even more food. The waste of resources freely available expose a greater flaw, the disregard of privilege within America. Food disparities are not just a global issue either. The United States has our fair share of food disparities within as well. Food deserts sadly do not contain gorgeous saguaro cactuses and tiny roadrunners. Rather, food deserts are plaguing the landscape of poor urban neighborhoods across the United States, in which residents have difficulty finding healthy, affordable food. In these areas, it's easier to find a Big Mac than a salad and a Slurpee than a smoothie. You'll notice that these areas are disproportionately filled with people of color. 15.2% of Americans have considerably low food security, with Black people and Latinos doubling these national rates. With the help of environmental racism, this leads to catastrophic results with extremely high rates of health issues in communities of color due to situational circumstances. Now for some possible explanations. Why? Capitalism. Disclaimer, these are assessing possible reasons and starting places, not particular solutions to disparities in food insecurity. Despite food being declared a basic human right, it is difficult to access if you live in an economically disadvantaged area, aligning with those hurt by historical redlining. Poverty and race are explicitly linked, and capitalism inherently restricts poor people to remain poor and allows for individual and systemic racism to impede upon financial success. Globally and domestically, we need to reassess accessibility to food and its ties to capitalistic structures of hierarchy, racism, and discrimination. Food is a basic human right and needs to be addressed as so for the success of the collective human race.